Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 1964 Porsche 356C Cabriolet Emory Special. Now this is a one-off resto-mod creation based on the last revision of the 356 that was produced in 1964 and 1965. And yeah, this is made by Emory, who are resto-mod creators. So resto-mod basically means restoring elements that you want to keep from a classic car, and then modifying the bits that you don't want to keep. So yeah, it generally means just keeping the classic body on top, and then re-engineering everything underneath. So yeah, I'm kind of a half and half a fan of resto mods because some are done really rather poorly, but I'm glad to say that this is one of those ones that is done really rather well. I like the fact that it's removed the chromed bumpers, so it's got a very nice flow to the front and rear of the car. It's also got the only wing mirror incorporated into the body there on the left wing, which is also very nice. And yeah, it's got a exhaust there that's sticking out, but not so much, and isn't stupidly large, but large enough to get the most sound out of the engine. And yeah, inside is very basic, as you can see. Not even a door handle, it's just a piece of leather, I think there. No windows, and yeah, got a roll cage in there for safety. You've got the fuel tank and spare tyre up front. I won't show you because it takes forever to get off. But the biggest difference between this and the standard 356C is the engine. Now the most powerful engine you could get in the original 356C was around 95 horsepower, whereas this, with its 2.3 litre flat 4 engine, produces 220 horsepower and 181 pounds-feet of torque. And it's Emery's own Outlaw 4 engine, so it's their own creation. It's not something that they've just carved out of any old car. So yeah, not a stupid amount of extra horsepower. I know it's more than twice the power it had originally, but when you consider it's only dealing with 2,150 pounds in weight, there's no real need to have it being ridiculously powerful. So yeah, I'm glad it's a sensible horsepower rating, because it's all too often that resto mod cars have ludicrous amounts of power over what the cars had originally. But 220 horsepower is just about reasonable, quite frankly. And yeah, it's kind of at the same level as some other modern interpretations of older classic cars, like the Alpine and the Alfa Romeo 4C. So yeah, really pleased with how this car looks. Really pleased with its interior, and engine wise it's yeah, not ludicrously powerful, but certainly more powerful than the standard version to be worth buying, especially considering these cost a lot. And yeah, being one-offs, it's a very rare car. Nonetheless, let's get out onto the open road and see just what this car can do. I'm glad that they've also kept it as a flat 4 engine, rather than making it a flat 6, or heaven forbid an inline 4 engine or something like that. And yeah, it revs really nicely to around 7,000 RPM. Sounds fairly decent as well, just like other flat 4 engines from the time, to be honest. And yeah, it's reasonably quick, not stupidly quick, like I said, which is quite frankly a bonus as far as I'm concerned, but still fairly rapid, even to 0 to 60 in 4.815 seconds, 0 to 112.618 seconds, which isn't ludicrously quick, but it's still more than fast enough. And it's got a reasonable top speed of 149 miles an hour. It's also now got a 5-speed gearbox rather than the standard 4-speed, so that's what really gives it its extra top speed, as well as obviously making it a bit more usable every day. Though I really wouldn't expect anyone to use this every day, because like I said, it's got no side windows and not much in the way of luxury inside either. But it is, at the end of the day, a driver's car. It's not meant to be used every day. It's just been made to be enjoy in terms of driving. That's it. And yeah, it does that really rather well. It's really well balanced. That lack of weight means it's not overbearing the suspension, and yeah, the lack of weight also means that it can brake fairly well as well. So yeah, I really do like this car. It's not often we get resto mods versions of cars on these Forza games. I know we had the Barrett Jackson car pack last year, which is the same sort of thing, really, taking classic cars and doing something new with them. But yeah, I really do like the subtlety of this car, because yeah, it takes what I really liked about the classic Porsche, the styling, the lack of weight, the rear engine rear wheel drive layout, but then giving it a little bit of extra power, better suspension and brakes underneath, and then, you know, slightly modifying the looks of it by taking off those unnecessary front and rear bumpers and incorporating the wing mirror into the bodywork, which is, as you can see, really rather nicely done, and yeah, also means it's a little bit more aerodynamic than the standard car with its standard wing mirror hanging off the edge. So yeah, great car. Now you get this via the festival playlist, which is for 50% overall, so yeah, it's not that difficult to get really. It only took me about half an hour to get all the events done, or race the events and whatever, to get the 50% that's required. And what you get is a really rather nice Porsche that is modern enough underneath to be quick and you know, enjoyable to drive, but at the end of the day still has the classic looks that you want from a classic car like this. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.